team. The other parties that's running opposed to us, there's only 4 people. So I think as a voter, you have to look at what are you getting? You get a team or you get a hodgepodge. What's best for your town?
We won't go into all of the reasons why the schools came in with an 11% budget increase, but what people need to realize, if we had done everything else in our budget exactly the same way and we'd given them an 11% increase, a person in this town with a house assessed at $125,000, and that's pretty low, their taxes this year would have gone up by $200. So probably the average appraised house, that means that their taxes would have gone up by $300, $400, $500 in this town. And we knock on doors every day, and the same people that are upset with class size are also upset that they have to pay a lot for taxes. Class sizes are determined by where the schools put the resources. And the schools have decided, for whatever reason, to not put the resources in the classroom, to put the resources in other needs that they feel they have. That's a question for the Board of Education, and anyone who wants to come and talk about that really needs to be talking to the Board of Education.
I've knocked on some doors and they says, well, I know, someone on row B and they're my friend. I says, well, give row A a chance. You may know one person, but row A has what's needed for the town.
But I think when it comes to politics, it's incumbent upon us to make sure that our vote counts. And in order for our vote to count, we have to vote for the right people. In order for our vote to count, we have to vote based on the facts. Because the person that you know and the person that you like might not be the right person to make these hard decisions for our town.
If you went into an employer and you were interviewing for a job, and you had a pool of people interviewing for a job, and you could look at your characteristics of, I participate, I have low absenteeism, I have skills to bring to the job, I work well with teammates, all of these things. And someone said to you, well, that's fine, but I'm the human resource director, and I'm going to ignore all that because this guy happens to be my cousin, or he lives 3 stores down. How would you feel about that as an employer doing that? Yeah. And every one of these people as voters are our employers. That's what they really are.
Vote based on the people that show up and do the hard work. Vote based on the people that make the hard decisions after they've looked at the material. Vote based on the people that it's not about their personal soapbox, but it's their commitment to doing what is in the best interest of our town. Vote based on that.
The one thing that has been consistently across the board, and it's something that we definitely have to think about. I know we have already made provisions in the budget to address this, but the roads. Our roads are really bad, especially on the eastern side of our town.
But they also need to be mindful that some of these road issues are being addressed.
Correct.
They have started working on some of the roads on both sides of town, because I live on the east side of town as well. So they've started the drainage process, right? And that's the first step. So it may not be my road today, but it's your road. That means my road is in the hopper. And I know that there is a list of roads on the website where people can actually check and see where their roads are. So we are all concerned, because this is one Bloomfield. Whether it's the east side or the west side, it affects our entire town. So people need to know that it is being addressed, and it will continue to be addressed.
Here's the information where you can go get it. Here's where you have access to each one of us. Here's the days that you can come and meet with us and talk with us.
What we tried to do was have different town hall meetings. And we thought having the different town hall meetings, going on the different sides of town, coming out of the town hall itself, would have been helpful, right? We did engage a lot of people, but there was a lot more people that didn't come out to those town hall meetings. One of the things that we need to figure out is public relations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That there is a hub that you can go to or that there is a monthly email that comes to your inbox, comes on your smartphone to give you updates about our town. And we have it, it's something that we want.
Idea.
It was in the budget 2 years ago. But when everything else, when you had to get down, to start to narrow that budget down, some of those things fell against the wayside.
And one of the things that we did institute as council is the organizational study, which we're getting ready to get the results from. But part of that was to address exactly the issue of, all right, we know there's a communication problem, or not problem, there's a gap. That's a very good way of putting it. So one of the things we were hoping to come out of the organizational study was, how can we take some of the town resources and do some of these projects? Because as the mayor pointed out, it was in the budget, but it left the budget because we're also trying to keep those taxes low. There are all these balancing things. And so we're hoping that coming out of the organizational study, some of the priorities of things we need staff and people to be doing can be done, because we can also drop some of the things that we've been doing for 40 years that maybe don't need to be done as much anymore.
We are at an interesting point of time now because we're in a chance to pick a new town manager who's going to be coming in. We already picked him coming in. We can work out some new priorities that we can now relay through back to the departments.
What we want is for our residents, every resident in the town of Bloomfield, to have the information.
You know what I noticed too? A number of us have been in coaching youth soccer, baseball, so with myself included. When my kids were little, that's a lot, because it's not only a nurturing function, it's also an educational function. You do this will happen. You have to practice to get to play.
And to that point, David, I remember my first interview I had. I sat there in front of the CFO, and he says, "Listen, I want to get to know you, but I want you to understand one thing. We have a team here, and you're going to be part of that team. And I want to make sure that you can fit into that team." It's very common for us to get off, and people get into personal thing. Oh, I like this individual. Yeah, he shouts or he yells or he seems like he's on. But no, that doesn't get us anywhere. I love being a part of this team because I think it's important. I want to work in unison together to accomplish the goal that we set out to in the first place, to make our town even a better town. And we can do that working together as a team.
I came a part of this team a little late, so I was a little late to the slate. And each one of us has something very important and valuable to bring to a table in order to do the job of an elected official, and I'm excited to run with this diverse group of people. We have the ability to transcend cultural differences and reach out to different parts of Bloomfield and foster the relationships necessary to keep our objectives moving forward. And I think that's extremely important, and we need to be inclusive and collaborative, and this is what this team is, row A.
Row A.
Row A.
I'm confident enough to say, once you see the facts, vote based on facts. I'm confident enough to say that we can stand on our record. I'm confident enough that these 6 individuals are committed to moving Bloomfield forward. And that's why we're asking for your vote. Not because you know us, not because we're such an amazing group of people, but we're asking you to vote for us because we are committed to moving Bloomfield forward. We're accountable to every resident of this town, and we are here to continue to do the job that the 4 incumbents started a year and a half ago. We are row A, and we're asking you for your support.
Are we going to rise together?
I'll try to figure it out.
Vote Team Row A. Okay, all the way.
Keep Bloomfield moving forward.
All right.
Stay with A.
Us.